Okay, welcome back to the fifth of these mini-casts, and in this one I'm going to talk about security and IT security. So it's really important that students going into this exam understand that IT has really, changes in IT have made security such a big issue. So everything is interconnected and interdependent, which means it's practically impossible to, keep information safe. So if we can hack into the system, we can access all of it. We've small, fast, cheaper computers and storage devices, which means I can walk out of a building with a terabyte in my pocket. It's not as difficult to be a computer hacker anymore. So the level of skills required for computer hacking is reduced, and the information is available on the internet. Because of the lucrative money to be made, international organized crime is taking over. And a lot of organizations, there's just a complete lack of management support. The threats that can come can be either human errors. Social engineering are the unintentional threats. Intentional threats will be around software hacking, viruses, so the different types of viruses. Be familiar with that. So, when we talk about social engineering, it's about manipulating people to give us information. So if I ring up and explain that my wife is sick and she needs her password in order to send a very important email, and some very helpful person in IT looks up the password and gives it to me, they've been manipulated to compromise the security of the organization. So other types of deliberate threats, we could have espionage or trespass, information extortion, which is a form of blackmail, sabotage, theft of IT, so something like, it could be stolen from the building, or, sometimes we throw stuff out that should be destroyed properly before being thrown out. So we can have identity theft, where people can use, hack our computer and find information out about us and use that to take out a credit card in our name or something. The intellectual property of an organization could be compromised. There's software attacks, so different types of software attacks. So it's worth reading the section on the book that goes into more detail on that. So it's important also to think about what organizations are actually doing to protect information resources. So, we analyze the risk, we can mitigate it, we can accept it, we can limit it by doing something, or we can transfer it through insurance. So to be aware of what those strategies for dealing with risk are, but also to think about the different kinds of control you can have. So we could have physical controls, where we just put a big wall around our building. We can have access controls, so swipe cards, passwords, biometric, retina scanning, fingerprint scanning, that sort of thing. So we have communication controls that actually, block the flow of data in and out of the organizations, things like firewalls and whatever. But also we have some kind of continuity planning. So what happens if our site goes down, if it gets hacked, if somebody disables our IT systems? And it's important as well that there's a level of information system auditing, so that we're actually checking that we have appropriate controls in place. So this is a kind of a nice simple visualization of IT security. It shows where the defense mechanisms are located. So we have, access controls, communication controls, but physical controls as well. So you need to be familiar with each type of those. Okay, so I promised that the last topic was the last topic, but this one genuinely is the last topic, and it's an important one to be familiar with, is the idea of open innovation. So open innovation is a paradigm that refers to the act of opening up the organization to allow people from outside the organization to become involved in innovation. So if we think, the idea of the open innovation paradigm is we've got an internal technology base, and we bring in technology from outside the organization as well, and then we can either, we can commercialize other people's ideas, or we can spin off our own technology and let other people get it. So the idea is we can actually create new markets. It's really important to be familiar with the difference between closed and open innovation. So, the assumptions around closed innovation is that we can get the best people to work for us. Open innovation realizes that this probably isn't true, but we can work with smart people other places. Open innovation realizes that other people's R&D can be valuable. That we, open innovation means we don't necessarily have to get to the market first. We just have to have, we don't have to originate the research. We have to have a business model that we can profit from it. So it's not a case of being first to the market. It's the idea of having the best value proposition from your customers. So we need to make best use of ideas. And we don't necessarily control our IP as rigorously before, because we're interested in letting other people profit from our IP, and ideally we'll share it, and then we share our IP with other people. So big challenge around it are people's motivations. So it's a big problem with open innovation is, are people willing to share their knowledge? Is there conflict? Is information key to people's status? Do they trust each other? Is the organization's commitment there? Are there rewards from sharing it? Will people actually be punished if they share it? So this all kind of flows from the culture of the organization. Okay, so that wraps up a very whistle-stop tour through the 5 weeks of content that I delivered for you. If you have any questions, I would ask you to raise them on the Moodle class discussion board and then send me an email. The advantage of that, it means that everybody gets the benefit of what we were talking about. Okay, thank you very much for the pleasure of being able to teach you. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get in person to talk to you before the exams, but timetable didn't allow it. I wish you all the best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you in some of my modules in 3rd year. Good luck.